everybody, and welcome to Second Life 12B's Meet the Artists. I am here with Wildstar Beaumont, who is photographer extraordinaire. And we're going to be talking about photography in SL, as well as going to be showing you some pictures through the years of Second Life birthdays. Wildstar, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
I wanted to find out, have you had a chance to walk around The Sims?
Actually, not yet very much. I wasn't able to be in SL for the press day, so I couldn't get in to have a preview of a sim taking photos before, as I usually do, because I was busy in real life. And actually, these past days, at the beginning, it was a bit too laggy to take good photos. And I must admit that I really enjoyed spending all my time in SL in these past days here in the auditorium. The talks have been so good this year that I have spent all my SL time in these past days here listening to all the events taking place in the auditorium. I will spend some time during the weekend exploring and taking photos, and hopefully also next week with a bit less lag, I'll do my yearly photo campaign in order to cover every sim.
Perfect. Well, make sure not to miss this year's cake. And there's 12 hats hidden around that cake, people. So fun times to be had to find them, let me tell ya. Yay!
No, there is a Safia saying that she cannot hear me. Can you hear me now?
Can everybody hear Wildstar and myself? We hear you?
Okay, so I think that I missed my previous answer. So I answered to Tara's question about whether I have explored a bit of the sim so far, and I said that so far I haven't done much exploration of SL12B because basically because this year the talks have been so good that in these past days I have spent all my SL time here at the auditorium, and I have really enjoyed listening to all the talks. The quality, I must say, has been really good, and it's been great fun to be here and listen to the talk. And
Safia has been one of the main talkers there, so hey.
No, but really, I mean, they have really been very good. The Meet the Lindens, the Meet the Artists. I was sorry to have missed some of the talks that had been too late for me, but it was a really good event this year here in the auditorium. So I spent all my time here, and I haven't explored so much. I'll do that in this weekend and possibly in next week with a little less lag, where I'll be able to do my annual photo campaign and cover everything.
Awesome. I can't wait to see what you come out with, because from my walk so far through here, there's been just amazing things, and it makes me so happy to see like all the different things that, so to speak, have evolved through the years, and you can tell the building's so much better, and just creative people here. I just love it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, these events are really wonderful, and you can really appreciate the creativity of the people in Second Life.
Mm-hmm. So I want to now take us kind of back to how Wildstar ended up in Second Life. What brought you to Second Life?
Oh, well, I guess it is interesting story to remember it. It was around 2007 where, Second Life was in all the news. Everybody was talking about it. It was supposed to be the next big thing replacing the internet. It was on the prime news almost every day. And in the beginning, I was a bit skeptical because there was too much buzz about it, so it felt just like a fashionable thing. And then I remember I was driving for business. And I heard at the radio actually that there was this book fair being organized in Second Life, and that news that really interested me. And I created my first account to attend this event, book fair at Book Island, and it was really a great event. So it was the very first place I visited, Book Island, first group I joined. I think for the first weeks of being a resident in Second Life, I really slept, quote unquote, on a bench in Book Island, and that was the beginning. And then, step by step, I started to explore a little bit more, mostly related to literature and literary events, and little by little started to meet people, make friends, enlarge my interests, and just got my first cottage to really have a place in Second Life. And
I've spent many open mic nights there.
oh yes, I'm very, and it's a pity because I remember there was another fair in 2008, and I really enjoyed that too. And but there were just the two editions, but they were really great and involving events. And more or less, it was a bit, from my point of view, the prototype of all the mega events that have dragged me and taken my interest in following years, like all the FFL mega events or Burn 2 or SLB and this kind of things that get really you feeling the sense of community in Second Life.
So, do you remember when you first figured out how to take a picture in SL?
Oh, yes, more or less. Yes, I think it was one of the very first day. I don't know why I took the picture, but it was during one of those first days that I took a selfie of myself at Book Island there, and they weren't yet. People were not yet speaking about selfies, but that's exactly what it was.
Wildstar created one of the first selfies. You heard it here, people.
And but yeah, it was the first picture I took. It was one of the very first days, and I started taking a few photos just for fun. I was really fascinated by Second Life landscape, what you could see, what people were creating. So I started very early taking photos of what I was seeing around me. So it was a fascination from the beginning. And after a few months, I guess 2-3 months, for some reason, in a couple of weeks, I had friends being involved in 2-3 weddings in a couple of weeks, and in all cases, they asked me to take photos for the event. So a little bit started my early career as a photographer.
Very nice. Now, do you take pictures in real life as well?
I do take picture in the other life as well. Yes, I'm an amateur photographer. I cannot claim I really do art, but I do take picture in real life. I enjoy doing it. I must say that by now my Second Life Flickr account contains more pictures than my real life Flickr account, but it is still well populated as well.
Well, let's take a look at some of these pictures that you've brought with you from different years. And we'll start to our left, our far left. Tell us about that picture right there with the walkway and the stone. 8B, I believe that one is, right?
Yes, it is. I took a few photos from the previous edition of Second Life birthdays. So SL8B, 9, 10, and 11. Mm-hmm. So there are a few of the scenes and the stages. You can see some of the cakes on the right pictures right now that had been built for the previous edition of a Second Life birthday, and the cakes are always very nice subject to take photos of.
Now, was that one of the cakes, the one that's up there right now over there?
Oh, yes. Yeah, it is one of the cakes.
Very cool.
The main stage of SL8B, yeah.
Great. And let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, it's a linden bear. Look at him.
Yeah, I think that that was a Bear Island of that edition.
Uh-huh. And another stage. Great architecture on that one, eh?
Oh, yes, that was one very, very nice architecture of the stage, yes. Very... some of those creations that you can see probably just in Second Life. So the architectural point of view, very, very, very nice.
All right, let's move on to SL9B with Mikatis Cake there.
Oh, yes, that's a most famous cake stage in history, I would say, because it was really something that we have seen replicated a lot in following years and in many different occasions.
Yeah. And how much fun was it to take something so bright and colorful like that?
Oh, yes, absolutely. It was a very good subject to play with wind light and to see which was the best light condition to take that photo. Absolutely.
Now, wind light. Have you created your own wind lights?
One that I find in Firestorm, but so sometimes I do create my own ones for some specific event, maybe, doing some mega event or some SLB, if I want to have a main. That was absolutely beautiful setting. I did love that scene. It was really fantastic. I tried to pick just one photo from each edition, but it was kind of difficult to pick the right one of the Egyptian scene because I loved all of them.
And is the angel? Where's the angel one from?
This was in SL9B. I think there was a ceremony taking place every day about the hall, and this was in the middle of the temple being burned, and so everything was crashing out of flame at the end. Just the angel was surviving.
Oh, cool. And there's another shot of the cake and a lotus flower there.
Yes, that's another one that I like to have the two different stages in perspective, one after the other.
Now
there were two major settings. It was very nice to be able to get both of them into the frame.
Nice. And we'll move across the stage now to the picture of the two elephants with the sign for SL10B. That's an amazing stage.
That was another of the stage in SL10B. I think, I don't remember whether it was a DJ stage or live music stage, probably a live music stage. It was another very interesting creation.
Do you find it hard?
Thousand stages, Safia is saying.
Do you find it hard to good perspective of the stage and the people and everything?
I like to play with the zoom. I think that it is one of the things that I brought from my real life photograph experience into Second Life. I'm kind of picky in terms of framing of the image. I really spend quite some time until the framing of the image is satisfies me. So I play a lot with moving the point of view closer, more away from the image, and then using the zoom in the and out. I think that the possibility that SL gives you are good enough to always be able to get a good framing. In terms of possibility offered by SL, you can do much more than what you can do in real life, because you have full control of your light. Like if you look at this one at sunrise, you can just set the wind light the way you want and have the sun in the perfect position, the light just framing a subject, whether you want a full light on it or just a silhouette, having the light behind the object, in front of the object. You can do whatever you like, and you can move the point of view. You can zoom, so you have much more possibility for the composition of the image that you don't have, of course, in real life, where if you want to get the kind of image at the sunrise, you need to spend the night in waiting for the right moment, being able to catch the moment the sun is coming up, and hoping that you don't get a cloudy morning. Of course, you have the drawback that sometimes SL can be frustrating, in the sense that you can literally wait half an hour for that specific object to res. So that's the trade-off you have to pay.
Yeah. Yeah, the beauty of SL and being able to change your lighting and I love it. Now, what's this one here with the tree? Is it a tree?
Yeah, it's again, I don't remember who did that. It was one of the main stages at SL10B. Another very interesting one with all the blocks around the tree. I remember this one was really kind of difficult to photograph, because of, in order to get the full image, you had to be 1-2 seams away, because it was taking, I think it was a bit like the central stage this year. It was taking several seams, so you needed to have your draw distance set very high to be a certain distance. So it was one of those moments, as I mentioned before, what it was very difficult to get everything raised and being able to take the shot.
Let's move on to SL11B. There's the cake.
There's a cake, yes. That was one of the music stages again.
And the contrast of the darkness behind it with the sky that pulls you from one to the other, that's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, this one was another one that was a very fun to frame, because actually the cake was in another exhibit, and it was good to compose the image in order to have the cake just in front of the stage.
Yeah. And then, hold on. Uh-oh. Might not be able to see any more in this group. Hold on. Yeah, it doesn't want to work. Well, tell me this. Tips for people, something that you learned in all your years of photographing in SL that people might not know about.
Oh,
I want the
no, I mean,
secret.
no. I'm not saying that I don't want to give out secrets. I don't have a particular secret to say. I say that in general, every good advice. I'm not sure I can give many really secret. Take good care in the composition of the image. Take good care on the framing. I see very often. I a bit paranoid, I must say. For instance, to have don't have pieces of objects coming from the edge of the photo, because they really spoil the feeling. So unless you want something to be partially in the photo, be careful not to get some object just partially frame in the image, like a piece of a tree nearby that you really didn't want together with the same object. And another thing that probably would be interesting to say, that the opposite, always be careful not to cut pieces of your main subject from the photo. This I see many photos where the human subject really, for me at least, they spoil the image. Of course, you don't always have to have the full figure in your image, but there are some standard framing of the human figure that can be used, and you can cut at the knee, you can cut at the chest, you can cut at the head. Usually, just forgetting just the feet is not a good thing. So, taking some good care of standard photography rules, good framing, using the rule of the thirds, I think that is a good advice for SL photography, as well as would be for real life photography. And then, of course, the other good tip would be learn all the opportunity that SL is giving you in terms of changing the point of view, changing the light, changing the zoom. Very often, I see that some people, even with a few years of experience, they don't know or don't remember or forget to practice the difference between changing the point of view and zooming of the subject, that give a different feeling. If you go too close to a subject from with your point of view, you get a lot of distortion, and that's the moment where you should instead zoom in.
Yeah. Now, has Second Life changed how you create art? Do you find that since you've been in here, when you take pictures out of here, does it make a difference? Are you looking at things differently now?
This is a good question. I I don't know. I think that the experience, as I said, goes most from my real life photography experience into Second Life, and then it is enhanced in by the possibility that uh, I have in Second Life. What I can say on the way back? Well, something that I can say, you know, what I said before. In Second Life, you have the control of the source of light. You have wind light. You can have the shadows drop the way you want. You can really be very creative, not just in terms of your subject or the way you compose the image, but also the way you work with light. And with shadows, and I noticed lately that given this experience that SL given me, I realized this is something that came without really realizing, I guess, and I just noticed lately that when now I'm taking real life photos, I'm much more picky in the way I want the shadows to fall in on the subjects, in the way that I would create myself in a cell. So this is something that is something that on my real life photography has been influenced definitely by what I'm doing in Second Life.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, has Second Life introduced you? I know that you do things with Prim Perfect. Has Second Life introduced you to opportunities, new opportunities that you wouldn't have thought of doing before?
My SL activity is mostly SL related, and so it stays within Second Life. I have my little gallery where I display my work. Usually on my little gallery, most of the subjects are photos of naval team, sail ships, because sailing Second Life is my other main Second Life
Passion?
passion. Yes,
Yeah.
so I really enjoy sailing the Second Life seas and take photo there and take a photo of sail ships. That's something that I can get lost taking a photo of sail ship for hours.
Mhm.
And well, sometimes I have well, the probably the other way around for in terms of what was your question. I have brought some of my real life photos in Second Life and displayed them in my gallery.
And what's it like to get the feedback? I mean, do you display? Have you ever been in a gallery in real life? Feedback from people.
It was interesting experience, I must say, because to a certain extent it was a good experience. I had people telling me good things that I liked my work, and it was good to build also a good level of confidence in terms of what I was doing, both in Second Life and in real life.
And have you found? Do you explore other galleries as well? What kind of art do you like in Second Life?
Oh, well. Yes. Well, I must say that I'm very fond of Second Life, and I love many type exploring book related things. I started going to storytelling event, reading events. I've been to some storytelling events where there were authors reading their own work, and I ended up following these authors in real life. So I have books that I purchased, both paper books and e-books of people that I met and learned about here in Second Life. I love to visit galleries. There are absolutely fantastic works in Second Life. One of my early passions, person that I was very fond of my first years. She has now left Second Life, but it was Aina Centaur that had these Shakespeare dedicated theme, and she was doing production of a Shakespeare work in Second Life in a replica of the Globe Theatre. So that was also one of my first continuous photography activities, because I took photos of several plays of Shakespeare 12th night. And then another theme that she was organizing was about 3D replicas of two-dimensional arts of real life, so like paintings recreated in 3D in Second Life. And there are many other artists that actually do these kind of things, taking two 2D paintings, classical paintings, famous paintings, and make a 3D recreation in Second Life. I visited quite a few of them. So these I like to visit. I like to explore.
Yeah, Primtings. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
Primtings.
Plenty was Aina's sim, and it was really something that I was fond of. I even organized a photo contest in printings back in 2009, I think. Other things at well, many types of performing arts I love. I mentioned theater, of course, music. I must say that Second Life does have shaped my musical taste in many ways in these 8 years that I spent in Second Life. There are, Second Life radios like Radio Real that from which I've learned some musical genres that I was not aware of, and now I have a number of playlists that I listen to in my car that are full and type of music that I learned about here in Second Life.
I want to
I
know, what kind of music does Wildstar like now?
well, I everybody that does a trip with me in my car, they say that I have pretty much very eclectic tastes because if you listen to the music loaded in the USB key that is plugged into my car and listen to one, you can just move from Lady Gaga to Beethoven to some British light music to a Celtic woman. It's really wide variety. Let's
Yeah.
say.
So, with all the things that you've explored and done, have you found that when you talk about Second Life to people outside of it, they get it? You do in here?
No, I don't think people get about Second Life and about virtual world without first-hand experience. I think that, I think that everybody has experienced, who has experienced Second Life can relate to their own history in Second Life, their own experience, and probably realize how much they have changed since the very first days, and realize that it takes probably weeks, months of experience to really get to the core of the Second Life experience. So yes, I can speak about a virtual Second Life to somebody who has never experienced it firsthand personally, but I don't think that if they have not the first time experience, they get it. This classical question is, sounds like a nice game. So what are the objectives? Rather than, but after all, it is just a 3D chat that you can do it on Skype or on Facebook, and. I do think that you really need to experience Second Life to understand Second Life.
Yeah, definitely. Now, what would you say to someone who came up to you, another young photographer? Would you encourage them to come in?
Sorry, say it again.
What would you tell a young photographer or artist about the benefits of Second Life virtual realities?
Oh well, it's a very good way to make experience. It's a very good way to practice your skill, to have to play with light, with all the tools that even natively on the different viewers of third-party tools give you. I mean, photography, like in many other fields, give people a lot of possibility in terms of exploring and creating experience. So it's something that should be pursued definitely. It is a fantastic experience. Of course, I'm biased because I love Second Life, but that's what I can say.
Yeah. So, any surprises about the virtual world that you would have never expected and you've experienced now?
Well, because I didn't expect it was such an environment that could get you involved so deeply. It was really something that in the beginning I couldn't really think that could become so important in my life. I could spend so much time here and with the people here, and have fun doing what I'm doing right now in Second Life. It's a very very good way to balance real life, the stress of real life work. So I adore being Second Life. Of course, what I always say to my friend, you must be very careful to stay away from drama, because there is already real life of that. So
Yeah.
Second Life must be the place where you create your own cocoon of happiness, because there is the other life to really
Escape from.
exactly. No use. I mean, you people are in Second Life for a choice. They don't have to be in Second Life, so they should really take care of having this, of building a happy experience. And even in bad situation, what I always say is that you have a huge advantage in Second Life. You can just log off for 1 hour, 1 day, and let bad situation to become less important. Sometimes just to be out of it for a couple of hours is very good to realize that maybe something that was becoming too tense is really not that important. Of course, one cannot log off real life.
But
You,
it's a good lesson though, because even in real life, we need to realize that something that might seem so tense. If you interview yesterday, we talked about just the friendships that are made and carried through. Have you found that in here?
Oh yes, definitely. I found fantastic friends. I found people with whom I speak every day, and I must say that probably I relate more to my Second Life friends than most of real life people. It's not that I'm saying that I have a cut off any relationship in real life, but definitely it has enhanced my social experience. There's no doubt about that. And and of course, the top of this experience is that I've also found my girlfriend in Second Life, and we have met 6 years ago in Second Life, and we have
Aw.
been together for the past 3 years in real life too. So
Oh, that's awesome. See, love is abound in Second Life.
absolutely.
Aw. Okay, we do have a question from Light Giver is asking, are you a photographer in real life too, or do you do any different types of art?
No, I'm an amateur photographer, so photography is a hobby for me in real life. I like to do it. I have my Flickr account in real life, and that I like to post photos in on my real life Flickr account. I must say that in terms of social experience, I've also met people, made friends on my Flickr account, and that's probably my other important internet experience in on the internet aside from Second Life. So let's say the big pillars of my real life experience are Flickr on one side, Second Life on the other. And but no, I do not do any particular kind of art in real life. I'm an electronic engineer, and that's what I do.
Why don't you put your Flickr account, if you want, in the local chat for everybody? And at this point, I want to thank everybody for coming. We do have a community chat coming up next. starting at 5 p.m. So stay tuned. And tomorrow will be our last Meet the Artist, and we will have Giovanna Cerise, who is also from Italy, and Wildstar will be back with me, helping me translate for her. So join us tomorrow at 4 p.m. and we'll have a good time. Thanks everybody for coming, and thank you, Wildstar.
Thank you, and thank you everybody for being here.